Well, hello, everybody. And yes, the microphone is on. I got one thing right today. Anyway, welcome to Mondays with Max. Thank you guys for all being here. I appreciate it. I am Max Voltage, as you all know. Let's do a quick roll call for everybody that is here. Retro Mike, you didn't ruin this evening. You ruined last evening. The thing literally went down 14 hours from getting a payout. But not your fault, my fault. But anyway, we'll go over that in a little bit of what not to do. Crypto Hunter, thank you for being here and being a member. Second TL Mining, thank you for being here. Been pleasure gaming with you over the last week or so. Well, even before that. But anyway, Canadian Miner, good to see you. Patrick Guyan, thank you for being here and being a member. I already said Crypto Hunter. 619 OTA. Hey, stupid. Interesting how YouTube actually censored that. I had to allow that comment, but I relish that. Yes, we all are stupid in our own ways. Like I said, I'll go over all that. Anyway, Gaming with Smokey Dan, Chris Hanley, thank you for being here. And again, pleasure. No matter how much you criticized my gameplay, I enjoyed playing with you on Friday. COD. Anyway. Guana Bites, thank you for being here. Automatic Beats, thank you for being here and being a member. Ultra Carbon, Dan Ruggs, Horse Coin, Integra Guy, thank you for being here and being a member. Chump Change, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Can't wait for this one. It wasn't even meant to be clickbait. It wasn't clickbait at all. It just seriously the way I felt. Anyway, Brother Crypto, thank you for being here. Crypto Bedell, Geek of All Trades, thank you for being here. Fudweiser, thank you for being here. I haven't seen you in a while. Toxic Miner, Alexander Fleener, Aragon Strider, the Toxic Miner, if I didn't already say you. Stephen Cicero, thank you for being here and being a member. Charles Thomas, Network Bits, thank you for being here. Sorry I missed your stream yesterday. I just had a lot of stuff going on at home, which I'll go over some of that stuff as well, which probably will trigger Patrick Guyan. But anyway, let's see. Canadian Miner. Oh, you are more than welcome. Anybody, hey, if anybody would like some stickers, not selling them, thought about selling them, nah, you guys are always here. This is the core group of people that comes to see me every Monday. I very much appreciate all you. If any of you guys want stickers, shoot me a DM. Won't necessarily go out right away, but I do send out stickers to everybody. And if you sent me a DM and I missed you, please let me know. I think I got everybody that has sent me a DM. Anyway, oh, Beast Crypto, thank you for being a new follower. I appreciate that. Oh, sorry if I missed somebody else. I don't think it shows up in the chat, but anyway, Sunflower Mama, of course, thank you for being here and being my watcher of the chat, as I am always further behind. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash, thank you for being here. Let's see if I know I jumped over 4J. Thank you for being here. I think, let's see. Slick Nick, thank you for being here. Blockchain Domain, Alltrack, New England Crypto, thank you for being here. Ultra Carbon, Kaiser, Solar Miner in Spain, good morning to you. Let's see.
Tell them everybody time somebody mentions a Christmas tree, it stays up for an extra week.
So Sunflower Mama, no, see, that'll just trigger them. So okay. The first time, if that actually happens, then I will say it. Wait.
Network Bits Crypto, just type it.
Network Bits, really? Really? You're really going to start that conversation? What did he say?
He said, take down your tree. Jeez.
Okay, so now I have to say it. So Sunflower Mama just said, every time somebody mentions the Christmas tree, it stays up another week. So, just saying. Actually looks really cool. I mean, with all the stickers on it, it's like a great way to display all the stickers as opposed to just being on a board. I don't know. I love it. And last year, I love Christmas trees. So there you go. Deal with it. Anyway, Geek of All Treats says, would love some stickers. Really? I haven't sent you any stickers? That's nuts. Yeah, shoot me your address. Shoot me a DM. I thought I had, but I guess evidently you would be asking me if you already had them. All set miner. Yeah, shoot me a DM. For some reason I was thinking you actually had sent me a DM and I thought I did send some out, but anyway, shoot me a DM. Like I said, anybody don't put it in the chat. If you want a sticker, you can put it in the chat to call me out if you actually did send me a request and I didn't send you a sticker. You can put that in the chat. But yeah, if you hadn't requested one in the past, just shoot me a DM. Let's see. Let's see what else. I think I pretty much caught everybody that is here. Yep, I think so. Oh, Gordon Murray, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. All right, just got in just in the nick of time with that being here and being part of the intro. All righty. Well, okay. Well, let's get right to it. So I know certain things you never do. And Retromite Crypto, really? Anyway, see what you started? Now everybody's talking about the tree. Anyway, alrighty. So there's certain things you never, ever do, which is mess with overclocks, tinker, do things late at night when you're tired and when things can go wrong. So yesterday, this part actually did go well. So a couple of things I've been working on. One is trying to fix the darn stream. So I did a number of things. One of the things actually was to upgrade the firmware of the router, but I'll get to that in a little bit. I had done some testing of my memory on my machine because I thought maybe that was part of the problem. I changed it to 30 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second. I went to low latency instead of ultra low latency. So your chats are a little bit more delayed, or I should say the stream's a little bit more delayed. So you're going to see me respond to your comments a little bit further after. So anyway, I didn't actually look to see how much more delayed it was. But anyway, I'm hoping that this makes it much more smoother. I lowered the bit rate because of the 30 frames per second. I can lower the bit rate, 20% without having any effect. Retro Mike, thank you for the super chat of $5. I appreciate it. Idiotic downtime money Z. So anyway, so I was doing a whole bunch of things regarding troubleshooting and things yesterday. One of the things I did, which was really nerve-wracking, because I had seen some people that had kind of bricked their PDUs. I upgraded my firmware on my APC PDU, hoping that it would provide more functionality. It didn't. It was the same interface. It did absolutely nothing. But you pretty much hit go and hope for the best. And it worked. It worked just fine. And yeah, it went from like 3.7 to 3.9. So that went well. So maybe that gave me a false sense of security. So, then I was doing some memory testing, and then we actually ran the cable for my daughter's computer so that it was not running over the floor anymore. So we ran that. And by we, I mean, Sunflower Mama did most of the work. So anyway, so we did that. So that was, that was already like, I don't know, 9:30 at that point in the evening. And I was still trying to kind of see what was going on with the stream and trying to see what I could find out. And I went into the router to take a look at it, and lo and behold, it had an update. And I'm like, okay, so it's got an update. And then I read the update, and it said something about UPnP, like there was some improvement to UPnP. I'm like, well, heck, I need UPnP for my nodes that's a great idea. I think I'll update. And there's the classic thing. Well, like I said, don't do anything. Don't make any changes at night if everything's working. And everything was working at that point. So then, but I saw that and I'm like, okay, I think I'll do something about it. See, if you just left out the one part of that network bits, I'd post that. But anyway, clean it up and post it. Anyway, so I was like, the flashing little light of UPnP got me to actually do the upgrade. And everything went fine. Everything seemed to be running fine. My computer was running great. In fact, it seemed like actually my upload speeds increased a bit on my computer. So I was like, okay, cool. This seemed like a really great idea. And then I was our typical gaming group, Hawk, Mining King, Red Panda. We were all in their second TL. We were all in the Misfit Mining chat. And so we were playing COD. Everything was going great. And then I crashed again. I don't know what's going on there. I actually now turned off precision boost. I'm hoping that will fix it. But anyway, neither here nor there. That was all done. Well, then for some reason, I happened to go into, I take that back. I had Zelcore open and I happened to glance at it like it was a window over it. I took the window away and it said one of my nodes was down. And I was like, oh crap. And then I looked and I'm like, oh crap. That's the node that's going to pay out in 14 hours. Yeah. So then I started doing a whole bunch of things. And at one point, all my nodes were down. Yeah. So that's not that uncommon when you make a change. So then it's just a matter of restarting things in a certain order. You restart the router so that it clears the UPnP table. Then you restart all your nodes. And then it repopulates the UPnP table, which is fine, which worked for 4 out of 5 of them and not the one that was going to pay out in 14 hours. That after a long period of time. Oh, by the way, I found all this out about 2 o'clock in the morning when I should have already been in bed. Yeah. So I troubleshot that darn thing. And I was getting absolutely nowhere and getting more and more tired, more and more frustrated. Anyway, yeah, I'm an idiot. If it's late at night, do not mess with anything. It's a shame Woolie's not here because he'd be like, how many times have you said that in the past? Like, you know that, but yet you break your own rule. Yeah, I absolutely broke my own rule. You just don't mess with things at night. Don't mess with overclocks. Don't try new things late at night because you just never know if you can't get it back. If it's running, let it go. Save it for times where you have more time to fix things if something goes wrong. So, yeah. So anyway, bottom line, yeah, I'm an idiot. You just shouldn't mess with things if they're working. So right now, I still don't have it back up and running. I am still working on it. And by the way, this is the one. Oh, and this is the other part of it is this is the one that's running on Hive OS. So this is another one's don't do as I do, do as I say. Don't put a node on Hive OS because it'd be pretty simple to get it back up and running. Nuke the thing, which I could still do, nuke the thing, and then just start from scratch and rebuild it. But nuking the thing means not only do I have to rebuild the Flux node, but I also have to re-download Hive OS, and I'd like to keep things mining. So yeah, it would require a bit more time in order to be able to do that. So I'm trying to get it running, trying to learn some things along the way. So, which I mean, that's the good thing about troubleshooting is you do learn things along the way. So like I've learned how to edit some files within Linux. I've learned how to change, change permissions as well as change who has rights to a file, whether it's root or a user that has rights to the file. So just different things like that. So yeah, it was just dumb. It was just really dumb. I was like so frustrated. I'm like, why do I have to be so stupid? Well, Hive's not the problem. So I'd still have to load. If I'm going to start over from scratch, I would have to load something onto it so that I could do the Hive replace. You know, you need Hive on it to do a Hive replace, as far as I understand it. So, but again, like I said, Hive isn't the issue. That's not what's causing the problem. My point is that if I needed to nuke everything, in other words, to get rid of the Flux install, those two things are somewhat, I think, intertwined. And so in order to get rid of the Flux install, you might be affecting Hive. So anyway, I'm trying to see if there's a way I can overwrite it, but I have not been successful at that yet. So we're still working through things. I'll probably do some of the troubleshooting here as well. But yeah, yeah. And Tane says, isn't this a lesson that you learned a while back? You still never learned. No, I learn it. I just learn it over and over and over again. Well, or just flat out break my own rule. And honestly, this is, you know, we all have a certain amount of arrogance. And I guess my arrogance and where it you know, is the fact that, yeah, I can, if I break something, I can fix it. That's my thought. My thought is I can figure it out, as I always figure it out. But sometimes it's really hard to figure out. So you don't want to be doing it late at night when you may not be thinking quite as well. So, or you're in a rush because you really want to go to bed. So, you know, definitely when you're in a rush is not the time to be troubleshooting. If you're in a rush for anything, I got to go out the door and whatever, I got to get this done. No, because then you start trying things that you probably should be taking your time on. Like for instance, I reinstalled Flux over it and ran option 14, which is the UPnP. Well, now I've got 3 listings in that UPnP file. Now the guy in the Flux Discord that's trying to help me is like, hey, why do you have 3 entries in there? They're the same line. Delete 2 of them. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't think that's causing the problem, but he's like, that's not normal. So we're trying to figure out what's not normal in what I've got going on and see if we can fix it. I mean, there's something related possibly to IPv6, because it appears that there's some sort of reference to an IPv6 address, and that's like the first error that comes up. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, but yeah, it's one of those things. It's already passed. I'm gonna go back to the end of the line. Now I'm just losing a day at a time, as opposed to what I just lost, which was like 14 days. So it is what it is. I'll figure it out and I will share with you what I end up finding out. But what's great is the support that the Flux community provides. It's simply amazing what they do. So that is like super cool. So, and I actually, and this is one thing, I'm good at breaking things. So one of the things that I was providing to them, they found a bug in the code. There was an error that came up that basically meant there was a slash out of place in the command. So they had an extra slash. I thought that they needed to have a slash at the end, but he's like, no. There's a slash in the middle that shouldn't be there. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's probably why it's causing the same thing. Anyway, but hey, at least I was able to help them find a bug and go from there. But anyway, alrighty, well, let me go over some of these comments. Max Voltage, this is from Geek of All Trades. You have to pray to the IT gods before you update devices after 5 p.m. before holidays and weekends. Sheesh. Yeah, I forgot that prayer. Aragorn Strider got to break a few eggs. Yeah, you know, honestly, you do learn the most when you have problems. I mean, that's, for me, that's a fact. Solving problems, if everything runs smoothly, you're not really learning. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you're mainly learning when you're trying new things. You might break a few things and you learn different ways of doing things. So, oh yeah, Retro Mike says you can just do a Hive replace. Yeah, like I said, the Hive replace, I thought you can only do that once you had Hive in there. And I don't know. Maybe you think the Hive replace might fix it. I don't know. Again, we can talk about that after the stream. Let's see. Blue Dragon Mining. Put a post-it note on your monitor. Is it past midnight? No, I would say no touchies. From what movie is that? No touchies. Yeah, Emperor's New Groove. Anyway, I love that movie. Anyway, let's see what other so if you guys want to talk to me, please tag me. I do read all of those. Retro Mike Crypto says, in all fairness, they also have bugs in their script. Well, that is true. We've been finding that. And then Geek of All Trades says, if you wear a Fitbit, I can make an Alexa skill for you to turn off the lights and tell you it's bedtime. If it doesn't notice your watch says you're sleeping after 11 p.m. That's funny. Gordon Murray, I hate Flux nodes. Well, I can't say that I really liked him a lot last night. That's for sure. I do like them, but man, this one's been kind of brutal. But again, I really believe that it's because the uniqueness of the way I have this installed that made it more difficult. But yeah, the networking of it in order to run multiples on the same IP address, it's not ideal to do UPnP, but yeah. Anyway, alrighty. I think I got to the bottom of that. So, okay, now I need to find this website. There was that software. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, so let me get this set up here. So I was just kind of looking around because I don't know about you guys, but I've been getting a ton of advertisements for Crypto Ledger. So decided to take a little bit of a look at it, and it looks good. It's got about as decent a track record as anything else. Anyway, let me pull up this article. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, let me there we go. Okay, so basically this is basically saying these are the 6 best crypto tax software. They say crypto tax software like it's something you download. I suppose if it has a mobile app you do, but really it's just a website. So let's call it what it is. It's mostly a website. So obviously CoinTracker, CoinLedger, Koinly are all very, very well known crypto tax softwares, but there's also TaxBit, ZenLedger, and Token Tax as well. So then they have a nice little chart here as far as what the benefits are. In fact, it even says it up here, basically CoinTracker, best for mobile app tax software. I don't know about you, but I don't do anything on my phone regarding it. So I'm doing it at home on my computer. Anyway, that's just me. Token Tax says best for full service tax software. I don't really need that. I'm not that big of a trader or anything like that. CoinLedger, best for user-friendly tax software. Koinly, best for platform integrations. So this is one of the things I really like about Koinly is that it is integrated with many more, and this is the thing. They list a lot more integrations, but the integrations that they list are mainly CSV files. So I guess the good thing about it is it's gone through and done the research to figure out how to get those transactions into Koinly. And this is more research than some of the other services have done. But yeah, like for instance, Zelcore, yeah, you either need to put in your wallet address and then the blockchain will download everything, or you can download a CSV file, one of the two, with Zelcore. Others, what's really important is being able to use as many services that have APIs. That's my belief. I know some people may say, well, that's not quite as secure. You're letting people get in. If you give them read-only access, I don't think it is a huge security risk, especially considering you're only giving that access to hopefully a trusted service in one of these services. So like, for instance, my exchange, Bittrex, has an API, Coinbase has an API, KuCoin has an API. So all of these do have APIs that can be used so that when you go into any of these websites, you can either you have to initiate the sync or it does it automatically, one of the two, but it'll sync up automatically instead of having to initiate the transfer or import of your transactions. So my goal for next year, or for mostly for next year, is to get as much on a wallet that has an API. So Ledger, Exodus, Trezor, all three of those actually have an API, and Trezor has an integration with Exodus. So I'm still trying to figure out which direction I'm going to go, whether I'm going to go Ledger, whether I'm going to go Trezor, but I am thinking about getting a hardware wallet. Trezor, with their more expensive version, actually has a nice backup feature. So it goes beyond just the 24-word phrase. So anyway, more on that later, but that has been something I've been thinking about and getting more of a cold wallet instead of a hot wallet. So, hey, Veteran Miner, how are you? Yes, and I will be adding some quote unquote sponsors. They won't necessarily be sponsors, but they'll be people of the community that have some interesting projects going on. I didn't have time to put those on tonight, but I will be adding those in the very near future. So I will be doing that. Anyway, I think that I won't beat this one too much with a dead horse any more than I already have. But as I mentioned, I do use Koinly. I enjoy Koinly. For up to 1,000 transactions, it's $99. CoinLedger actually goes up to 1,500. So if you are over 1,000 but under 1,500, that sweet spot may be better with CoinLedger. I don't have an affiliate link with CoinLedger. That's not the software I use. It has a good reputation, but it's not what I use. Therefore, I am not providing an affiliate link for that. I don't even know if they have them. I'm assuming they do. But anyway, Koinly's my tool of choice for now. But I do want to let people know what else is out there. So, alrighty. Well, hopefully that gets you started. I mean, the big thing is once you've picked one of these, is to get all your transactions into it. Because it's kind of like a 3-step process. It's getting all your transactions in, and then reviewing all your transactions, making sure that they're in there properly. Because there are, especially if you're doing some imports as well as some APIs, API syncs. Some of those, when you're doing a transfer from one wallet to the other, they may not match up. So you have to manually match them up by hiding one of the transactions and then changing one of the transactions to a transfer. Because what it's doing when you move it to the other wallet, these services will think that that is a withdrawal, and they will then treat that as a sale. You don't want it to do that. A transfer, they won't treat as a sale. So make sure that you're checking up on all those things. It also won't mark any, it's going to see deposits. Your miner earnings are deposits. That's what it's going to show up as. You're going to have to manually change those deposits to miner earnings in the software so that it delineates what your earnings are from mining from your trading profits and losses, which those two things, one is a business, one is a personal. In my opinion, one is a personal. You can't really say your trading is part of your business, I don't think. But anyway, that's my opinion. I'm not a tax attorney. Don't take my advice. go consult a tax attorney. They may have, or tax attorney, or a tax accountant. So you can go check those guys out and they will provide you much better information. Let's see. Geek of All Trades says, I saw a great video on Ledger Nano S recently. Wonder what geek put that out. I will have to take a look at that actually. So thank you. So if you haven't checked out Geek of All Trades, he's got some great content. And I was just telling him, he could be talking about just about anything. His delivery is funny, entertaining. Go check him out. He is definitely, like I said, I don't care what he's talking about. He's very entertaining. Kind of in a different way than DJ Mines, who's very entertaining as well, or even Hawk is very entertaining as well. You know, those guys really sell their personality and they can be talking pretty much about anything and be entertaining on YouTube. Me, on the other hand, not quite as entertaining. I need to have some information to share in order for people to want to watch. But anyway, all right, let's see. Retro Mike Crypto says, I recommend multiple hardware wallets. I have both Ledger and Trezor. I use one for holding and the other one for trading. Oh, interesting. Chump Chain says that was the around the bush big ol' sorry to, oh, it wasn't just a veteran miner, it was to somebody else as well. But anyway, to the veteran miner, I forgot about you. I didn't forget about him. It's just I was still troubleshooting the node, so I did not get his advertisement input into OBS. So, and I was more interested in making sure that everything ran smooth. Has everything been running smooth tonight? I hope so. I hope. Put a 22 in the chat if it hasn't lagged at all tonight. I hope that's the case. Anyway, spot on, Max Voltage. Thanks. Appreciate it. Basically saying, I'm sure Crypto Hunter was saying, I'm not entertaining. I need to have information to share. I'm sure that's what he was commenting on. Geek of All Trades, you're the highlight of every Monday. Don't short yourself, buddy. I appreciate that. I think this is a fun thing for all of us to get in together with, and you guys make it just as fun for me as hopefully I make it for you guys. So appreciate all of you very much. All right. I'm trying to think of where I actually left off. I got off on a tangent, which pretty much is par for the course. All right. I think I was still finishing up taxes, but enough of that. In summary, download all your pick a package, download your transactions, and then start double checking all the transactions. So this is a process that I've been going through a couple times a week, just doing a week or two here and there, just so it doesn't become so overbearing and all encompassing. So, oh, Jump Change says, oh my God, Max just said 22 in the chat. Whatever. Veteran Miner says, I was there this morning. I know what you're going through, Max Voltage. I'm glad you got it fixed. Well, I haven't gotten the node fixed yet, but yes, I think it's good that I've got this fixed. Let me know if the quality is just as good. And Geek of All Trades just put in his, I'm assuming that's your review of the Nano S. So check it out. I think that's pretty cool. Solar Miner in Spain, Max and Hawk rant. Alrighty. So this is, I'm going to go back to the node, and basically I have to start the node at this point once I'm able to pass the benchmark. And the latest that I've been getting from these guys, in fact, yeah, you guys can see that, has been a number of things. Let's see. This was basically where I found where I with the message I got, it was showing that there was like an extra slash. Where is it? I don't know. I put it somewhere up here, but anyway, I sent him the response, showed him what it was, and then that's when he figured out the problem. But yeah, this is what, delete the last two entries on there. So I got to remember how to do the nano command, which I should have over here. I just have to remember the path to that file, which I believe I remember. So here's what I need to do. Let's hopefully I don't end up doxing myself here. Because, hang on, before I do that, make sure that there is nothing. I know where there is my IP address on here. But, okay. That should not show it. Let me bring OBS back up so I can look at what it looks like. All right. So I don't have it far enough over. No. There we go. Now you can see it. So you can see here where I pulled up this file and showed what was in it, and it's got 3 entries. So I need to nano dollar home slash dot flux benchmark slash flux bench dot conf. Does not exist. Yes, it does. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Yeah, that helps if you, and that would be a big fat no. Well, let's try doing that again so I actually type it correctly. Yeah, you can't do that. Don't know why I have so much trouble typing bench. And I think it's flux benchmark. Oh no, it's flux bench. Sorry. He told me to do this, so I'm going to do that. And I think Control S. Permission denied. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. So I need to do this as root user. So sudo, can I do sudo nano? Will that do it? I am such a Linux newbie. And back in the day when I was in college, I hated Unix, but I had to learn at least a little bit of it. All right. User nano. All right, what about this? Oh, that's right. That's right. Su changes the user. I forgot about that.
SU is shorthand for switch user.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. SU is for switch user.
SU nano.
Yeah, I did that. Sudo nano. All right. Now let's do it. Hey, I know enough to be dangerous, man. If you give me a couple months ago, I would not even have known this. So Control S. Sweet. Control X. All right. That probably won't change anything. And then there was something else he asked me to do. Also run this, please. Copy. have no idea what that did. This is supposed to be an expert helping me, so. And also run this, please. All right, I ran it. Oh, and then he went after the -n. And the UPnP process runs that command. Looks like a possible routing issue. What is the output if you run IP? All right, well, let me go back to his original. Where is it? Where he told me what to run. User config.js file. Okay. He's going to break something and be up all night again. No, because it's already broken. I'm not going to re-break it. Yep. You guys say that, but I usually figure it out with, in this particular case, since this is outside my realm, somebody else will help me fix it. But all right, let's do this. Since I don't know what's going to show up when I run this, I'm going to run the command that oh, so he said once you delete those 2 extra entries, then run option 14 from the toolbox again. All right, so I need to run the toolbox again. Shouldn't be too far back. Okay, so that was what you asked me to run. When I run it, by the way, this is what I end up getting, is that. So that's what I was worried about with that. But anyway, all right, let me go keep going to the bash command. There it is. Maybe we're around 14. Wow. No, it is not a Helium live stream. You're so harsh. I thought you were my friend. 167.
Too far back is relative as to how many times you tried to fix it.
Multi-port mode was skipped. Why? Why was multi-port mode skipped? I don't get it. But it's restarting Flux OS. Let's see if that fixed it. I kind of doubt it. But we shall see. All right, let me go back to the chat. See what I missed. Use tab for autocomplete. Oh yeah, I forget about that. Actually, I think I know what Sunflower Mama was referring to there. She said uses too many words for shorts or reels. So yeah, there was actually an announcement from YouTube saying that us YouTubers can now monetize. Some YouTubers already could, but most YouTubers could not monetize shorts. So that will be my goal starting February 1st to actually put out some shorts. They're challenging for me because yes, I use a lot of words, but
JK Tuning said there are 2 files that it writes. Did it skip both? Any errors?
Sorry, let me scroll to the bottom. Anyway, but anyway, that's what I think referring to. So yeah, shorts will be able to be monetized as of February 1st for all YouTubers, as I understand it. All right, so it skipped the bench.conf and wrote the Flux user conf. I don't see any errors. Now it's still saying restarting Flux OS and benchmark, which is probably going to tell me it's still not working, because when it takes this long, that's what's happening. Gaming with Smokey Dan. Smokey Dan, how many different channels do you have? Or is this a different person altogether? Yeah, it's it can definitely be challenging, but rewarding at the same time. The great thing about nodes is the fact that if you get them running and don't screw them up, they pretty much just run. You don't really have to do a heck of a lot to them. And there is at least an intermediate level to get your nodes going. In fact, one of the things I found really interesting was there was somebody that had one of the new seed nodes, and that's great because they're supposed to be like super easy to get them up and running. The problem is when something goes wrong, nobody knows how to support it because you don't have access to anything. The point is that they're trying to make them dummy proof, so they don't allow you to have access. It's kind of like the Apple of Flux nodes. It's great because it makes it like super easy, but if anything goes wrong, you have no ability to change anything. So that is what really, I'm not a big fan. I'm a fan of the seed hardware. I'm not a fan of making it dummy proof because there's enough that will go wrong from time to time that you're going to need the ability to do different things, at least to be able to get past certain things. So, you know, and as I had mentioned, Flux is going to have failures. Okay. They are along the way, hopefully small failures. And I would call what's going on recently a small failure, but they cause a lot of people with one of the Flux Bench releases. They caused a bunch of problems, caused some nodes to go down. I don't know if mine was related to that or not. I don't think it was, but it might have been. But one of my nodes isn't set on auto update. And so it will not update past 3.6, even though all my other nodes are on 3.7.1 or 0.2. I forget which one it is. But anyway, so I've got that issue going on, but I won't need to worry about that at least for a couple other weeks. And hopefully by that time, they will have something fixed where when I go into the Flux OS front end and go down to Flux admin, it'll recognize that 3.6 isn't the latest and will actually update it at that point. So let's see. Oh, okay. So Gaming with Smokey Dan is the channel name, but mostly go by Smokey Dan. All right, fair enough. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Alrighty. Yeah, problem with UPnP detected, Flux OS shutting down. And that's what I've been getting all along, which is really a bummer. So Bench D, that's what you were just talking about. Bench D, where is your comment? Run that IP route command again. That one? Same thing. Now I could run the other command that you mentioned. Of course, I should run that out to the side in case it actually comes up with it. Where is the other command? There was a shorter command you gave me. Just type in multi-toolbox. Really? If I just type in multi-toolbox? Wow. Okay then. That's interesting. No more need for that bash command. You just type in multi-toolbox. That is very cool. Everything before the pipe. Oh, Gaming with Smokey Dan. I know lots of people that made the mistake. Yeah, you can't install the latest server Ubuntu software. You have to install 20.04, not 22. Can't do 22 because it doesn't have the Mongo database. So definitely have to run 20 Now I'm thinking eventually when 22, if and when 22 gets Mongo database, which I've heard a while back that it was supposed to get, but evidently still hasn't. But anyway, but yeah, until then, yeah, 20.04 is the one to run. Dash help is my favorite command. This is a pipe. Everything before the pipe. Well, let me get out of this. All right. That's no. How do I get out of multi-toolbox? That's really annoying. Trying to hit Control C. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Control C wasn't working before. Anyway, now it did. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, it pulls up my local IP address. So yeah, it does pull up the local one. Doesn't pull up the external one, but it pulls up the local one. Is that what you were looking for there, Retro Mike? So frustrating. Yeah, so basically what I've tried right now is I've tried running number 2 to reinstall the Flux node. I've tried running reinstall Flux OS. Neither of those worked. And Flux OS reconfiguration, that's like if you are putting in new node information, that's what that's for. So like if I built a node and I wanted to send it to somebody, they could go into 11 and put in all their information without changing anything. So yeah, for some reason the grep regex isn't working. It should extract just your local IP from that full result. Okay. But anyway, that worked at least. So it is, like I said, it is there. I do have it reserved on the router, so it's not subject to DHCP. So yeah. Alrighty, well, I won't bore you guys to death, well, more than I already have with this. But yeah, sometimes nodes can be a little challenging. Usually the easiest thing to do is just to go reinstall, which is pretty much where I'm at. I will probably just leave this down until I can find a different piece of hardware that I'm going to run this on. And I've been thinking about building a personal computer in order to run multiple nodes on it, because I do have an 8-core processor. Biggest thing though is finding a motherboard. I would like a B450, B350. I don't really want an A series board, but I also don't want to spend more than $100 on the board. So yeah, it's kind of between a rock and a hard place because there aren't that many of these boards out there anymore. So yeah, obviously X470 would be cool, but anyway, all right, I'll set miner, put something in here. Yeah, that's to update. I'll set miner. That's to update the actual software itself. So I don't think that is going to affect anything. Oh, do you, Mr. Guyan? Oh, I totally forgot about that. I don't care. It's micro ATX. Doesn't matter. Anyway, let's talk afterwards. Let's see here. Everybody's chiming in here. Anyway, I'll touch base with both of you guys afterwards. Yeah, man cave crypto. That's normally what I do, actually, and that's my wife's computer was an open box motherboard. Works great. Yeah, I'll try that. Let me see. I don't usually like to run commands on screen when I don't know what the output's going to be. Yeah, I think this is actually part of something else that was run. So yeah, I actually did look at this earlier. So basically you can see the 4 nodes and they're all running just fine. They all have the same 3 things. They have the Flux backend API, the Flux home UI, and the Flux sync thing. I don't know, sync thing, I think is what they are terming that as. But you have 223, 132, 232, and 187. So, and then you have Flux app, the Mach 5, which is a Cardano thing, and then a pre-search node. So those are my apps, and those open up different things. So all of this is completely normal. It's just the fact that I'm missing the 5th node, and the 5th node doesn't want to cooperate at all. So yeah, there you have it, people. I'm still working on it. So we'll figure this out one way or the other, or we'll again just decide to start over and on something else other than my Hive OS. And therefore I can actually mine a little bit more because I took threads away in order to give access to the Flux node. So yeah, I'll get that figured out. Alrighty, guys. Well, again, thank you guys all for showing up. I very, very much appreciate it. I always like to give you guys an idea. I don't keep track of this at all while I am watching the stream, but let's see how many people, if I can find the tab again. There it is, right? Yeah. So we maxed out at 71. That's better than I've been at recently. So again, appreciate it. I'm sure it tailed off a bit, but thank you for everybody that stayed. Very, very much appreciate it. And wow, you guys know what you're doing. Well, actually, K-Spec, you came in late. So you don't realize what you just did. That's why you're getting claps from Sunflower Mama, because she loves that tree. And we said at the very beginning that anybody who comments on taking down the tree adds another week. So I'll have to go through the chat to find out how many weeks we're going to add to this thing. Anyway, but thank you for that. I appreciate that. And the wife has started to play with the lights and the flashiness. Retro Mike is tree. Anyway, well, thank you, Blockchain Domain. I appreciate that. I love what Sunflower Mama does for my, some people call it studio. I wouldn't exactly call it a studio, but does for my backgrounds and makes me look much better than I otherwise would look. That is for sure. She did this whole thing back here. Then she's like, there's too much stuff back there. Oh yeah, let me change to full screen. So she's done all the stuff back here. And in fact, I should actually turn the camera just a bit. I don't want to get the doorway in there, but that's good. Just get the nice little, what is that, Christmas cactus? And actually, that's not our, well, she has Christmas cactus from her great grandmother, and she has grown these things like gangbusters, has given away. Anyway, we had given one of these away, and somebody else had the same thing. An old, grandmother, great grandmother, whatever, had given away portions, so they gave us a little piece of it, and that's our friends, the result of our friends' gift to us as far as a different type of Christmas cactus. So anyway, kind of her thing. Christmas cactus and sunflowers are her thing, as well as a number of other things. But anyway, alrighty. So let me read a few more comments. And Case fact, you gotta take that tree down. LOL. Gaming with Smokey Dan says, "Oh, that DR I messaged about is on YouTube. Is a few videos about him if interested." Oh, got it. Yeah, I looked at what he had. What they kind of talked about. So I appreciate that. I already looked him up I looked up his website, so I looked at some of the things he was talking about. Definitely some interesting things. The things that were directly related to my wife's ovarian cancer, she's already on those things, and yeah, so she is definitely in good hands. We did our research as far as doctors go, and we definitely are very lucky. Other than the colon doctor was good. He was just a jerk. Anyway, but alrighty guys, well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I will see you again next Monday.